fray eliminations too. But when yourself are on the high ground, all the other teams as well, they know your position, and there's not a lot of way out from the high ground itself.
Well, speaking of high grounds, look at this. Team TAMILAS, they scout out all these rotations from the southwest corner. And this little compound gives them a little bit of a shelter and cover. But it does give them a little bit of a nice angle to actually push up the mountain steeply as long as they are going to remain contested. So this is a very interesting position that Team TAMILAS have.
They indeed do. Playing on the edge, there's no one really around them. It's looking all great. And something that's looking even greater, that will be the Realme P3 Ultra 5G, 90 FPS BGMI gaming with smartest AI gaming control, and let's not forget, world's debut for the 8350 Dimensity chipset, which is going to be insane as well.
Speaking of insane, where is insane? Oh wait, they got eliminated.
Overall, for them inside of the quarterfinals, it's not that good of a note. But speak of Arknight, they've already made the pounce on top of the place of Team TAMILAS. But Team TAMILAS, they reply back fiercely.
What a game for Team TAMILAS once more. And guess what? Hero Extreme Godlike, they just saw.
It's on the slope of that hill. How are you supposed to reposition yourself, and how are you supposed to find any sort of cover, especially from the teams at the top? And Do or Die is someone that's got the maximum advantage. In this Max Center, they've got so much control as well of that hill. If teams like NRI want to move up, they have to take a lot of risk, and probably in that risk, they can be wiped out. You've also got THW on the right side, so there's no way in. Rival Apex, they've sent Trigger inside to get some sort of scouting.
Well, speaking of positioning, you know who has good positioning is going to be Team TAMILAS as well. They've heard all these commotions. And they are going to be sharing the mountain for now, but eventually they need those pixel-perfect shots. Maxi scouts out a little bit of a remnant here of where Sim is, but doesn't seem to be able to find those connections. I think that's Admino actually on the other end. And Trigger actually getting scouted out by Hero Extreme Godlike. That's going to be one more point in the hands of Hero Extreme Godlike.
All the 4 players from Hero Extreme Godlike on that southern side. They do want to make some sort of space for themselves in the circle, but since the team's at the top, they've got so much line of sight, Hero Extreme Godlike cannot make any sudden movements.
And that means there is going to be more space for Hero Extreme Godlike to try and pounce, but as of yet, this is the only time they've got because Team TAMILAS, they are taking some serious heavy fire, and look at even the ammunition on Do or Die. They're slowly lacking as well. Pong finds a knock onto his Do or Die.
Palu knocked. Not a good news for Do or Die at all. They're getting the revival on the fallen player, but still the rest, they need to create some sort of a distraction. Team TAMILAS, a team that is currently sitting at the top of the table, and still they're so consistent, untouched in my opinion. Admino, though, he gets knocked out. It's not a good news for Hero Extreme Godlike, since recovery now seems even tougher. And as I mentioned, if they make any sort of sudden movements, there will be a lot of attention grabbed on them. And that's exactly what's happening. Even Punk gets knocked out right next to Admino. He went there to get the revival on the player, but instead he got knocked out himself. And now Hero Extreme Godlike, they're just walking into a death trap. It's not looking too great. Even Punk gets knocked out right next to Admino. He went there to get the revival on the player, but instead he got knocked out himself. And now Hero Extreme Godlike, they're just walking into a death trap. It's not looking too great. Team TAMILAS, they've got problems of their own brewing up as Do or Die. They're just collapsing right on top of them. But still, Team TAMILAS, they're giving a tough fight. One last man to go for Do or Die. Well, Team TAMILAS, they've got all the 4 players standing, from which 2 players are knocked out, and the revival's going to be there.
This unique split from Team TAMILAS is the reason why they're hanging on. They put the vehicles there on the outskirts, one under pressure in the mountain as well. The moment Do or Die tries to look down, guys on the top is going to pick him off, and that's going to be Fox that actually finds him. Do or Die, they drop the ball, and now Team TAMILAS will have some say in this next upcoming fight. The final 3 teams.
Of them. And THW, they know how much is on the line. They desperately need this game. They need to wait for Team TAMILAS and Hero Extreme Godlike to lock horns, and that's exactly what's happening. Team TAMILAS, they've already found 2 scrappy points against Godlike, as those 2 individual players were quite spread out, and Godlike just could not do anything. One more man to go, and that snake is still in the grass.
What a clutch coming from Fox. One on Do or Die, another one on Hero Extreme Godlike. He's been picking off people left, right, front, and center. And this consistency is what we have been eyeing for a long time. And Team TAMILAS looking to take the consistency from yesterday to break past into the semifinals. Can they do it? It all solely depends on whether or not they get the chicken right now. THW. Seems like they are still focused on Hero Extreme Godlike, but here comes the rush from Team TAMILAS.
Yeah.
This might be the opening that Jonathan needs to try and clutch it out from the south side, but it seems nearly impossible.
Oh, the nade was tossed right next to him. Team TAMILAS completely unaware of the fact that Levi was right next to him. He did find the striking advantage, but the strike wasn't that great. Not venomous enough. The snake was hidden, but when he struck, there was no venom in his fangs. And now, THW, they need to face the casualty themselves. Rush Boy's going to be the last man making the rush against the player of Team TAMILAS, as he did take a few shots, but no connections yet. The snake has been taken down eventually, and now Jonathan was the